following show is for entertainment purposes only and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of Empire Media LLC, its subsidiaries, affiliates, sponsors, and advertisers.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Majors Live, episode 283 here on TMSNX Radio, themajors.net. I am Adam Hernandez. There's Dorf, there's Shawn. We're on Facebook Live, too.
Yeah,
yada, yada.
Wave to the camera.
Yep, if we go out on Facebook Live, well, whatever. We tried.
It's
Can't say we
Facebook
did.
Live.
Yep. You can also catch us on the same audio link if you're watching on Facebook Live, which is, right there above or below the Facebook Live link. So click on that if we go out, if you're watching us on Facebook Live. So anyways, we were off last week, so we've got some stuff to catch up on here. We've got our fan question. Is the NFL franchise tag a positive or negative to the league? We'll get to that in a little bit. I kind of want to talk about that in general, too, because I think that that's something that you maybe should be looking into in all aspects of sports. I'm talking about the four major sports. So we're going to kind of lump that into there as well, even though I know that the franchise tag is only in football. It's only in the NFL.
Well, and you could argue that there was now it's gone. The tendering of a qualifying offer to MLB players is essentially the same thing.
Yes, but that's gone now. We're going to get into, like I said, talk about a little bit, introduce a new segment, the Majors Live Crystal Ball, where we make some predictions on some of the bigger stories that happened this past week. We'll get into our stupid shit of the week as well, and then do some news to finish out the show, and of course, bitches and badasses. But first, Dorf brought this to my attention last week, and this was an article about Tim Tebow. And I could go and play the music here, but I'm not.
Aww.
Shawn, no, don't you dare. Leave it alone.
Dare what?
Don't you dare. Leave it alone. Ah, God.
Whoops. Forgot to shut the other music
I forgot to shut the other music off. He's such a rookie. It's only like his 283rd time doing this. Not to mention all the other podcasts we've done.
He's a baller. He's a playmaker and a shot caller. In case you didn't know, I got Tebow. He shatters the mold, and all he does is win. All he does is win.
I don't think I prefaced this really well though. I went into the music without introducing the topic.
Yeah, without
Tim Tebow's business of failure. This is a David Fleming article on ESPN.com. In fact, that's not his title. That was my title, actually. His title was Tim Tebow's Relentless Pursuit of Failure. Basically, what this is David Fleming going through and basically bashing Tim Tebow's...
Pursuit of Failure was their title for it.
Yeah, and I said mine was
sorry.
Tim Tebow's Business of Failure. But basically, this is David Fleming going through and ripping Tim Tebow a new one, basically saying that he's not scared of failure, which is a good thing. But he goes on from there to essentially say that Tim Tebow has no business doing what he's doing. Fair, Dorf? You read the
fair
article.
assessment of the piece.
Yep. And he goes on basically saying that that Tim Tebow is profiting off of his failures, and that he goes in a little bit talking about how he's potentially taking a roster spot from somebody, within the Mets' organization. It seems like he's kind of calling him a fraud too.
I think a better. I don't know that he makes here.
What was
Control F? He never calls him a con man, but I think that's kind of what he's.
He's leading towards.
That was kind of the gist of it.
He never actually uses the phrase con man.
What did you make out of this article? What did you get from it? What did you get from it? Not so much your opinion, Dorf, but what did you get from it?
That ESPN on ESPN Violence, ouch, And the fact that ESPN's essentially web editors allowed this to go up the way it did, attacking essentially one of their own, because Tim Tebow is still employed by the network for SEC football coverage in the fall, tells me that I think they're getting sick of his shit too. You know what? I understand why people have essentially the uneasiness around Tim Tebow and why they don't think it's genuine, because it seems so fake. But honestly, I don't think it's fake to him, and he may be the one exception to the if it looks fake. You know, if it looks fake, it sounds fake. It probably is fake. You know, looks like a duck, walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's probably a duck thing. But you know what? He is not this isn't like he's going out there and trying to start his own football league or buying his own team so he can play. Another party was a willing participant in the Tim Tebow thing. The Mets signed him. No one held the gun to the 30 MLB owners' heads, said, "You will sign Tim Tebow, one of you, or I'm going to start shooting." None of that happened. So you know what? The Mets, it's a mutually beneficial relationship between him and the Mets. You know what? The Mets have someone talking about their minor league system, and Tim Tebow gets to try and play baseball. And you know what? The Mets get to sell merchandise because they worked around the usual, promotions and merchandise deal that isn't offered to minor league players, which is by default offered to the big league guys. They signed an agreement with him so they can put his name on back of jerseys and sell them. Mutually beneficial relationship. Nobody's getting hurt here. Cool. Let's play some ball.
And I want to know what's a definition of failure? If Tim Tebow is profiting off of failure, is that
Technically, it's not failure then.
is that really
No, because he's making millions.
He's making money. He's making money. Is that
playing
failure?
a game for profit?
Yes.
No, by most definitions, no. It's not.
I want to know how David Fleming justifies whatever Tim Tebow is doing right now is a pursuit of failure. Because is Tim Tebow still getting paid?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a roster spot at a major sports team in the United States?
In the minor league, sure. No, not on the Mets, but yes, he's playing professional sanctioned sports.
Why is anybody concerned with something like this? Why?
Because it got you a click.
I just can't wrap my head around why people are so concerned, why the hatred for Tim Tebow is so relentless. You know what? The guy, he's a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tebow is a good guy. You don't see that in sports too much. And I'm jumping ahead a little bit here. And maybe I'll curb that now for the time being until I really get to it. But Tim Tebow isn't a failure. He isn't. He is still an athlete making professional money. He is a professional athlete making money, which is the definition of a pro athlete. Yes, I know. But he is in spring training with the New York Mets right now. And you know what? In Tim Tebow's eyes, if he fails,
so what?
Then so what?
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Isn't that kind of sort of the outlook on life that you want people to have, that you want your kids to have?
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tebow is going out there and he's trying something right now that a whole shit ton of people around, in the United States either A, don't have the guts to do, or B, don't have the skill set to do. Because let's be honest with ourselves here. Real quick. Is Tim Tebow right now playing with the New York Mets for the sole reason of just because of who he is? Just because of the name?
No, I bet he feels like he can still make it.
Or is there or would the Mets give this guy the time of day if he didn't have some inkling of talent?
If they didn't see anything, they wouldn't be just doing it. Because if they were just doing it because of his name, wouldn't he already be on the MLB roster?
Because yes, well, Shawn, this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that Tim Tebow is there on talent alone, because I think that would be an asinine statement to make. Tim Tebow is there on two fronts because he's A, Tim Tebow, and B,
They see him. Yeah, they see him as they see some type of talent. They see something. But it's like we don't know because obviously we're not seeing what they're seeing. But
is it a win-win situation for the New York Mets too?
Yes, it is.
I mean, everybody wins in this because Tim Tebow gets paid.
Yep.
He gets an opportunity to go out and potentially
play big league baseball.
And potentially try and play big league baseball. And at the same time, at the exact same time, the New York Mets are making money off of it. And you know what? If he makes it and he makes the team, then you know what? They got a guy that can go out there and contribute at the big league level. And if he doesn't, you know what? Who cares? They made money in spring training.
Yeah, and you know, like you said, it wins for Tim Tebow too. He goes down in sports history of playing in the NFL and the MLB, playing in playoffs for the NFL, and who knows if he makes the team on MLB someday.
And you know what? I'm sorry. You're not gonna sell me on the whole notion that he's taking a roster spot from some kid. Yeah, from some kid. Oh, boo fucking who?
Well, guess what? That kid needs to work harder to beat him out.
Life's tough. Wear a helmet.
How big are those MLB organizations roster wise? From the major league, the 25-man roster on down.
Considering the roster rules of the minor leagues, roughly speaking, you have 26 to 28 guys at each level of the minor leagues at any one given time.
Rookie ball, single A, double A, triple A. You know, then they have Florida leagues or whatever. You know, I'm like, there's so many of them.
Yeah, you've got your AAA club. There's 20. Let's just do 25 for on math. You got your AAA club, your AA club, your high A club, your low A club, your short season A club, your rookie club, your Dominican team, your Venezuelan team.
Yeah.
Some teams have 2 short season teams. You could have anywhere between 8 and 10 different minor league teams.
An extra 250 players.
250 guys. 200 to 250 guys.
Yeah.
Getting a shot at any one given time to play professional baseball in one organization. That's not mentioning all the independent league teams.
And
Exactly.
that's the thing. Yeah. The roster spot that Tim Tebow is possibly taking up here
is from a guy who's never going to make it either.
Yeah, exactly. Is that guy any better than Tim Tebow?
No.
Is that guy going to make the money that Tim Tebow is making for the New York Mets?
No. I'm like, if he was that good, he would already be up there. He would be up there. He would be recognized as a top prospect or whatever. So he's not taken up. And he's no different than his age. That's it. He's 1 or 30?
29.
He's 29 years old or whatever, compared to a 21-year-old. So it's like,
and you know what? I'm sorry. The market will already set itself on Tim Tebow. The professional sports market, it is an open market. It'll set itself on Tim Tebow. What I mean by that is football already did it. Football is already out of the market on Tim Tebow. He tried it, and it didn't work out. Could it have worked out as him playing a different position as a tight end or whatever? Maybe. Yeah, it could have. But you know what? He didn't want to play tight end.
No.
He didn't want to play tight end, and another team didn't want to give him the opportunity to play quarterback. So Tim Tebow said, "Whatever. You know what? That's fine. If you know what, if that's not in the cards for me to play quarterback at the NFL,
I'm not interested.
Then so be it. I'm not interested. I'm gonna go and do this TV thing for a little bit. And you know what? I really, really liked baseball when back in high school when I was playing.
I'm gonna give it a shot.
I was pretty damn good at it. I'm gonna give it a shot.
And guess what? Look at where it's got him.
And you know what? Somebody gave him a shot. Can you really get mad at Tim Tebow for something like that?
No. He's doing what every kid ever wanted to do. You know, play a professional sport. He's doing
it twice.
He's doing what you want to do when he was a kid.
And if you know what, if you don't like it, then don't pay attention.
Exactly.
Yeah. Protest and don't go to low A Mets games.
Yep. Force the Mets' hand. Look, it's an open market, you guys.
Have a protest outside the stadium. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Yes. Do what you have to do. Do what you have to do. If you really don't want Tim Tebow there, then do what you have to do within reason. And protest Tim Tebow being on the roster. Go out there if you care that much about Tim Tebow taking up a roster spot from some guy who isn't going to be there anyway.
Go protest the Mets front office.
Yeah.
Go
Yep.
nuts.
Go do it. Send them emails, send them phone calls, do whatever you
Call
have
your
to do.
season ticket representative and threaten to pull your deposit.
Hell, call your congressman. I don't care. Bring it up at one of their town hall meetings. That's what you'll get.
What are your Congressman so-and-so? What are your thoughts on the New York Mets having Tim Tebow in camp? Why are you wasting my time with this stupid question? Next!
You'll start hearing the "do your job,
Do your job.
do." I'm sorry. But no, that's what's gonna happen. And you know what? I don't blame for Tim Tebow for wanting to play quarterback and only quarterback in the NFL. That's what he wanted to do.
And he was successful at the college level, so why wouldn't he want to do that?
Now, if you had a team out there that was
your job.
that was forcing the issue with Tim Tebow and still trying to make him a quarterback when it clearly wasn't working, then you know what? That's where the problem lies. But would that necessarily be Tim Tebow's fault?
No.
Absolutely not. And I don't want to sound like some Tim Tebow apologist here, because you go back and you listen to old episodes of the Majors. I railed against Tim Tebow. I was the one that levied so much criticism towards Tim Tebow. It was crazy.
I loved it.
But you know what? I guess at this point right now, I'm tired of this Tim Tebow hatred. There's no reason for it.
Yeah, what has he done personally to you?
Because you know what I'm sick of too? Sports doesn't have enough guys like Tim Tebow who are generally
They need more
good
people like
guys.
that.
You know what? Professional sports right now is chock full of fucking assholes. You go and you listen to the last show we did, Motor City Uncut. Over on Detroit at the Majors.net every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Time.
Shameless plug.
But a guy like Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson beat the holy shit out of one of his kids. Is he going to be playing football this year?
Yes.
Yep.
Sure as damn well will. Oh, but he's good and he has something to offer. Well, you know what?
Tim Tebow's good enough to do.
Tim Tebow does too, because you know what? He's still making people money.
Yes.
So don't try to sell me on some difference between Tim Tebow and Adrian Peterson when it comes to them still being able to offer something to their respective teams. No, you know what the difference is between Tim Tebow and Adrian Peterson is, besides the professional sports that they play right now? Is one is a fucking prick who doesn't deserve to be playing in the NFL right now. Did Greg Hardy get a second shot in the NFL after he beat the shit out of his girlfriend?
Mm-hmm.
Junior Gillette too, after he whipped his girlfriend with a belt on a beach. He's gotten 2 more chances.
Yep. But they still have something to offer to their team. Like I said, so does Tim Tebow. I don't know. What do you guys think of this? Because personally, I think
You, sir, are fake news.
I think this David Fleming. Personally, I don't know if this was something he was assigned
This is
to write.
probably.
But he sounds like a loser to me.
Yes.
They got. You know what? Honestly, I can't remember ever any other time watching or reading something from David Fleming. Didn't know he was until I saw the headline and read the piece.
Yes.
Mission accomplished.
Good job degrading yourself even more, buddy.
Anything within Tim Tebow in the headline is going to get them clicks. You got what you wanted. Mm-hmm. You got a fucking blog. You got us talking about it, a week and a half later? You did your job. You got them clicks. Good for you.
This guy sounds like a loser to me, though. This guy sounds like a guy who's lost at just about every stage of life.
You said fake news.
Now, oh wow, he's writing for ESPN.com. Good for you. And you know what? You're probably going to get laid off next month when ESPN rolls out their next set of layoffs.
Oh God, their heads are rolling, man.
Speaking of which, that might be a topic for a different day. Just the shit that ESPN is.
Oh God.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, ESPN's not in any danger of
bankruptcy
going
or
under,
you know.
Yeah.
But I was reading something today. Before, when they were an asset to the Walt Disney Company.
Now they're a liability.
Yes.
Well, it's
They're
because
not
all
like-
their freaking exclusive rights broadcast deals are coming back to bite them in the ass. Because everybody's
they're-
cutting the cord.
Where they're going through the roof too on the prices they
God,
have to
yeah.
pay to.
Mm-hmm.
For rights, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
But you know what a nice business plan of theirs was? To let go of guys like Skip Bayless and Colin Cowherd, because are they doing really anything for Fox?
Nope.
Nope.
Not really.
Fox Sports Live just got canceled. Did you see that?
Yes, I did see
Yeah.
that. Mm-hmm.
That sucks.
They're done with it. Well, Jay and Dan, the two guys that
They went back
hired-
to TSN.
Yeah, TSN gobbled them up in like 3 seconds. Hey, heard you guys aren't going to be busy here in a couple months. Do you want to come back?
Make it
So
rain.
does FS1 have a flagship sports show?
They no
No.
longer have. No, it's they're doing the whole embrace debate. So I think like the Cowherd program is going to be their flagship.
Ugh. Gross. Even though I kind of like Cowherd, but Jason Whitlock. And...
You do that, Whitlock.
Anyways, though, Sean, anybody else have anything on this? Because to me, it's like I said.
No,
it's-
this guy just seems like he's this. Well, I mean, like I agree with what Dorf says, and I totally agree with what you say. This guy just sounds like an idiot. But he basically did what he did, and he got clicks on it for who he worked for and all that stuff. So he did what he did. But I think it's a stupid article.
He did his job. He did his job.
Mm-hmm.
Use their fake news. Is my Donald accent getting any better?
No.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying so
One
hard.
last thing, and this is more than expert. It didn't matter. In fact, it only helped Tebow develop a brand failure. This is coming off of everything that he did in the NFL.
Everything he did in the NFL, he won.
The next summer, after he was unceremoniously let go by New England, Tebow vowed to get to the ends of the earth to make himself an NFL quarterback, a pledge that apparently did not extend to Canada or Orlando, where he had standing offers to hone his QB craft in the CFL and the Arena League. Stooping to play fullback or tight end, where he worried he would no longer be everyone's focus of attention inside the huddle, was out of the question too, and yet we believe this is the same guy that intends to spend his summer in single-A ball riding a crowded, stinky bus, grinding his way through 140 games in 150 days, and parting ways with the Patriots. Tebow tweeted 2 Corinthians 12:9, which says, in part of that power is perfected in weakness, and therefore the best way to have crisis power dwell inside you is by boasting of your weaknesses. This seems to be the moment where Tebow was able to meld his rapidly dwindling prospects as an NFL quarterback with a universal connection to and the spiritual rewards of failing with honor and purpose, sometimes over and over and over again.
Ouch.
It's
It's a little harsh.
it's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So what, at this point now he's using his faith against him? I mean, come on, man. Come on. Grow up. Grow up.
Sounds like somebody's jelly.
It definitely sounds like it. Because you know what? After this whole baseball thing is done with, success or not, he's going to be right back in the broadcast booth.
Yep.
And you know what?
Or in the public speaking circuit.
And you know what? A guy like David Fleming probably isn't good enough to make it to that point either. Because you know what? Tim Tebow has more personality probably than you. And it bugs the shit out of you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Anyways.
Never thought you could get that much out of Tim Tebow anymore, did you? Could you?
Maybe not, but...
What you got next?
We're going to go ahead and get into... Badass this week. Bitches and badass. We'll go ahead and start off with our badass first. Go ahead, Sean.
I'm actually going to go with Zach Wheeler, pitcher for the New York Mets. He's finally bounced back. Obviously, he's thrown a lot of sessions. He's actually going to be making his debut since he hurt himself in 2015 this Friday in spring training. And from what I keep reading, everything he's been doing, a lot of other people have commented in saying how well he's looking. He's releasing. He feels no discomfort. He's just if he can come back healthy, the Mets are, oh my gosh, that starting rotation is going to be amazing if they stay healthy. Steven Matz even had a good outing the other night too. So and hitting in the low 90s like his normal stuff.
Go ahead, Dorf.
All right, my badass this week is Combine Warrior John Ross, former wide receiver of the Washington Huskies, breaking that NFL Combine record for fastest 40-yard dash, and then saying, after asked about, do you feel disappointed you didn't get your island from Adidas? Nah, man, I don't own a boat and I don't swim too terribly well. Adidas was offering a bounty of an island, a free private island, if anybody broke the Combine 40-yard dash record wearing their cleats. Ross is wearing Nikes, so...
All right. My baddest this week is Steve Eiserman, getting rid of Ben Bishop, getting what you could for him, and then the big one I thought was fleecing the Philadelphia Flyers into taking on Valtteri Filppula's $5 million cap hit.
Lol.
With the no movement clause attached to it. So Philadelphia is going to have to protect Valtteri Filppula in its $5 million cap hit this coming
season.
Yep, this coming expansion draft as well. So Steve Eiserman, good work, my friend. Moving along to
So you've got two of those playing again. Come on.
no, I don't.
Yeah, you did.
There's only one.
I think
Whatever.
you're on crack, Dorf.
Bitch this week. Go ahead, Dorf.
All right, my bitch this week is, do you know who I am? Reuben Foster, also NFL, Combine Warrior, who got sent home after reportedly getting a verbal spat with a hospital employee that was part of the medical checkout process. Pulling the classic, do you know who I am? No, Reuben. You're a prospect. Nobody knows who you are. You're a linebacker. Go home, son. Goodbye.
I'm actually going to go with the New Orleans Pelicans. They've been doing pretty great since they got into DeMarcus Cousins.
That is a joke.
What?
Are you joking?
No, I'm serious. They've only won 2 games since they've gotten him. He's done great. No, he's done great, but they haven't won barely anything.
I know.
yet.
I thought they're what, 2-5 since the trade, and one of the games he was out suspended.
Right, but they've
One of
been
the ones they won.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything yet. I think it's a joke. I'm like, DeMarcus Cousins has been suspended already. He's only been with them 5 games.
Well, it's just because of cumulative of technical fouls.
And like I said, I don't think it's going to work out.
Did you
with
see
him.
what they gave up though for DeMarcus Cousins?
Yes,
pretty much nothing.
I know, but still,
So,
I just don't think it's going to work out there with him.
so if you have a chance to get one of the best centers in the league for essentially nothing,
Not for DeMarcus Cousins. But
I don't
like
know
his
if-
attitude is what the big thing is for me. I think it was dumb.
okay, well you weren't winning anything prior to that. Now you give yourself a chance to win something with DeMarcus Cousins. I don't see your logic.
No, I don't think it's going to work out with Davis and him. I think it's going to be a big problem, and Cousins is not going to work out. I
think it will eventually. You have the eyebrow, the unibrow, and Boogie Cousins up front there. That's tough.
it may be tough, but I just don't think it's going
And
to
I'll
work
tell
out.
you who it may be tough for. Coming up, if Kevin Durant isn't healthy come the start of the playoffs and Golden State has to go up against New Orleans
You think the Pelicans are going to make the playoffs?
without Kevin Durant, if they do, it's going to
It's
be
the NBA. They probably can.
If they do, it's going to be the 8th seed.
I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
I think they could. There's a little while left. Anyways, my bitch this week is Colin Kaepernick. I will say this. You know what? All the reasons why Colin Kaepernick was not standing for the national anthem last season, I could get down with that. I could agree with that. Police brutality wasn't happy with the 2 candidates that were running for president. He didn't think they were doing enough, considering they were 2 of the worst candidates ever to run for president of the United States. Race relations in the United States. Like I said, I could see that. However, Colin Kaepernick turned away, what was it, $17 million, Dorf?
Yeah. But the 49ers are going to cut him the next day, so it was
Okay.
an empty gesture.
But he has, all of a sudden now he needs a job. And Colin Kaepernick all of a sudden says, oh, I'm going to stand for the national anthem now. I guess I missed something. has all the problems that Colin Kaepernick decided, to protest against through the national anthem, have all of those been solved now?
Nope.
I didn't think
Some
so.
might argue they've gotten worse.
Yes, I didn't think so. So was all of that kind of hollow? Does that kind of hollow it out a little bit now that you don't have a job, you're looking for a paycheck, and all of a sudden now you're going to stand for the national anthem? To me, that rings a little hollow. What happened last season? I don't like that. So this week, Colin Kaepernick.
You know what he's getting? He's getting that same criticism from both sides of the political spectrum.
He deserves
Yes.
it. He deserves it.
Showing a man he really wasn't a man of his own convictions.
No, not when you're look.
Where does it
You
go?
you learn where somebody really
The
stands.
unemployment line.
You learn where somebody really stands on their opinions when their feet are to the fire.
Yeah, when they have everything to lose.
Yep. And to me, Colin Kaepernick's his convictions and all of that. Now I don't want to say they're totally fraudulent, but I don't know. Now they're really putting into question.
are fake news.
Now they're really putting into question. Anyways, moving along, and maybe that'll be one of our crystal ball items here. I'll go ahead and now add it. First, let's go ahead and basically the crystal ball is pretty self-explanatory. We're going to look into our crystal ball and see where make predictions on these aforementioned topics here. Which first is going to be Tony Romo. Tony Romo is still a Dallas Cowboys, ladies and gentlemen. Is he going to remain a Cowboy, or will Tony Romo be playing for another team, or will he be up in the broadcast booth come the 2017 season? Look in your crystal ball, Dorf. He's fondling it right now. Where's he going to be?
Tony Romo will be a member of one of the following two teams: the Washington Redskins, upon a Kirk Cousins trade, or the Denver Broncos. Broadcast booth is not in his future. A return to the Cowboys is not in his future. He will be playing one of those two places for the 2017 season. Likely not via trade, who will be released and signed with one of the two.
Shawn, look in your crystal ball.
All right.
He's fondling it.
I
Go
know.
ahead.
I like fondling balls. But
I know you did that on purpose. Like, come on, man.
so basically, like the article that I wrote back a little bit ago, Dorf, I do agree that I think he can land in Denver. But a team that I also put in there, I think he can land with the Jets.
The Jets are burning it down. I mean,
And I think they will. He could land there. That's where I think he could.
Honestly, based on all the
Land
scuttlebutt coming out about around the draft here in the last couple of days at the combine, the Jets are going to ride it out with what they have. They're not going.
Well, it would be a smart
They're
move,
happy
but
with
I
how
wouldn't be shocked if he did land there. That's
they're
what I'm
happy with
saying.
how Christian Hackenberg's progressed, and they're not going to give up on him without at least seeing him play first. So, with that being said, I don't think that. The Jets is a logic, especially considering how they're blowing it up. I don't think
about
it's a
too,
logical landing point for
Chicago
him.
might be looking for a new quarterback if they get rid of Cutler.
Yeah, but that's another. We're going to draft somebody,
Right.
And then go from there.
I'm going to go ahead and say Denver. Sorry.
Denver.
Denver. I'm going to go with Denver. I think he's the perfect bridge to Paxton Lynch. So, let's stick on NFL guys here. Brandon Marshall. Brandon Marshall released by the New York Jets. Where does he end up?
A contender. Good fit for Brandon Marshall.
I have two teams.
Go ahead.
First one, obviously, a lot of the rumors have been going around. New England, obviously. Indianapolis Colts.
Not a contender though.
But that could
Yeah,
make
not a
they
contender.
could possibly bring them in to make them a contender. If Brandon Marshall
Their
could
defense is deplorable.
Did Peyton Manning have a defense all those years?
They were,
Yeah, Andrew Luck's not Peyton Manning.
But Andrew Luck. He can
Andrew Luck's
I know.
Andrew Luck's
He's-
stock is
yeah.
dropping.
pretty darn
Like
fast.
a
I'm just
rocket.
trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. All right, gosh.
Dallas, but they don't have any money to spend.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think who else. Atlanta kind of needs a number two. That wouldn't be a bad spot for him. I don't know about their cap situation, though, if they could afford him.
I've got two.
Who are your two?
I'm gonna go with New England.
course.
Green Bay.
Ted Thompson doesn't even pick up his phone in free agency. Who are we
Yeah.
kidding?
I don't know. That receiving core there, they have pretty solid.
But Jordy Nelson.
Ooh, Jordy Nelson. He did lead
have-
the league in touchdowns this year.
Yeah.
No, I know Jordy Nelson and
They have that young group of Adams, Montgomery,
come on.
and then
Montgomery's a running back now.
yeah, he ain't gonna stay running.
Adams is Devonta Adams and Randall Cobb is I can't get
Yeah.
open.
That's true.
Thank you. Dorf, go ahead.
Without looking at the salary cap picture, I can't give you any more. It will be a contender. He's not playing for somebody who's not.
Look in your crystal ball.
Yeah, look in the. Come on,
I
Dorf.
did look at my crystal
We
ball.
already
I said-
gave us our teams.
I
It's your
said good
team.
fits were Dallas and Atlanta. God damn it!
Okay. Colin Kaepernick. Does Colin Kaepernick end up on an NFL team? That's all I'll ask.
Nope. He is a toxic asset. His play doesn't warrant it. He's a toxic locker room / political figure. Nope.
Shawn.
That's probably one of the toughest questions I've had to think about in a while.
It really wasn't. It wasn't original on the list.
I know. He possibly could I
Here's a quick answer. No.
I can't think of a team that really could have
Nope.
used him.
No.
There's really no actual
Wrong.
joke of a team.
Wrong.
I
You
know.
there are fake news.
But I'm saying there's really no joke of a team that's in the NFL that's actually
that desperate for a quarterback.
yeah.
Colin Kaepernick will be the next quarterback of the
I
Cleveland
don't think
Browns.
to be honest.
I'm just asking. I'm not saying. I'm not asking for a team. I'm just asking if he's going to be
No.
on.
Thinking about it, I don't think he's ever going to play football again. He might as well go back to try and play baseball too.
That may not be a bad idea.
He was
for
actually a
him.
really good pitcher in college.
Oh, I like the way you're thinking, Sean. That may not be a bad play.
It might be the smartest move for him. He's young enough still, and I bet he probably still throws in the 90s if he tried to.
Ooh, I like that. It's not a bad move for him.
He'll be looking at my crystal ball. I'm gonna say he finds his way onto somebody's training camp roster, but gets cut before the season starts. That'll be the end of it.
So you don't think he ever plays again either?
He's not good.
No.
He's not good.
So you think without his not standing stuff or whatever, so he's basically like another Vince Young.
Vince Young's trying to make a comeback.
I know.
by the way.
I saw that too.
I don't want to say he's Vince Young, but look.
He screwed
The
himself. over.
NFL front offices are very, very calculated in what they do. I mean, you have guys questioning players about their parents' divorce. I think it's. I don't think it's too out of the question, too out of the realm of thinking to believe that he's going to find his way onto somebody's training camp roster. But beyond that, given everything that happened last year and the fact that he's just not good anymore, that doesn't transcend into an NFL gig come the regular season. So.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, unrelated note, Andrew Bogut, after, getting bought out by the 76ers,
Mm-hmm.
less than 1 minute into his Cavaliers debut, he's hurt already.
Nice.
Having leg injury, helped off the court, undergoing x-rays.
Did they say what happened?
According to a story on ESPN, when blocking out on Miami Heat forward Arca White, left leg collided with White's knee with 11:38 to go in the second quarter on Monday night. He was helped to the locker room by Tristan Johnson and James Jones and could not put any weight on his leg.
He might be done for the year. He's a free agent at the end of the season too, isn't he?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Finally, Dustin Johnson won his last two non-major tournaments, the last one being the World Golf Championship in Mexico. Does he win a major this year, though?
Yes, I think he does. He's going to keep that streak up. He's just on fire the way he's been playing. Let's hope he doesn't have a mental breakdown. This guy has just been phenomenal. Oh, crystal ball.
Going in the crystal ball here.
Mine's like this, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Sean does the crystal balls. It's not even us making fun of you, man. It's you doing it to yourself.
I know it's funny.
I don't think it'll be the Masters, but he'll get one of the other three.
I think he has a chance to win the Masters.
He absolutely does have a chance. It's not like, oh, got no chance. Don't you know? He's done. He's not even gonna make the cut. No, he's got a chance.
Either the Open Championship, PGA,
I don't think he'll win. I don't think he'll win.
Championship.
I'm gonna call it the British Open. I don't think he's gonna win the Open Championship, but the PGA I think is probably where he's got his best shot.
Okay.
Other than the Masters.
I like Justin Johnson. I see it happening too. One of the 4 major tournaments, I think he can definitely come out on top on. So
yeah, the Open Championship is really not what his game is about. Tight fairways and
such a tough. It doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter what course.
What's
they're
it like?
on.
It's old St. Andrews. They do like what's it? Phil Mickelson doesn't even bring his driver.
Yeah,
like, you can't hit it accurate enough. Not worth it.
That's the best one though out of the 4.
Yeah.
British Open's the best, and just because the courses there is so
fucking tight.
Yeah. Anyways,
and it shows the true skills of these golfers.
Well, Dustin Johnson, to his credit, has gotten a lot of better at this before, but earlier in his career, it was a guy who he would bomb in a mile and play catch up from there.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to go over the question, or do you guys want to do stupid shit of the week?
Let's do stupid shit of the week.
Okay. Headline here. Well, this actually came via Deadspin, and their headline was: columnists suggest Adrian Peterson hit his kid because he might be descended from slaves. No, I did not make that up, and I'll use Deadspin's opening paragraph here. Pete Doherty of the Green Bay Press-Gazette wrote a column this evening for USA Today's Wisconsin network urging the Packers to sign free agent running back Adrian Peterson. He makes the case that Peterson still has plenty of productive football ahead of him and writes off Peterson having whipped his 4-year-old with a tree branch as learned behavior. Specifically, he chalks Peterson's drive to beat his son up to beatings that Peterson's likely ancestors suffered as slaves. Here's an excerpt from his column. As for Peterson, society is changing fast and obviously for the better on many things, including disciplining children. I'm 55 and have friends about a generation older who say corporal punishment in school was routine. That's not that long ago. Let's also not forget that Peterson likely is descended from slaves who suffered savage disciplinary beatings generation after generation after generation. It excuses nothing, but also can't be ignored.
So is he talking like genetic memory here?
This is learned behavior. Peterson, like Vic, paid his penalty. He took a plea bargain in a Texas court and was suspended by the NFL without pay for the final 6 games of 2014. First, how did an editor let that get through? How does an editor let that one line get through?
Because your editor is a 60-year-old white man.
I don't understand.
Most likely.
How an editor lets that one snippet get through. Let's also not forget, Peterson likely descended from slaves who suffered savage disciplinary beatings generation after generation after generation. Don't disagree, but are you serious? Yes, slaves suffered savage disciplinary beatings. But are you fucking kidding me? You're gonna use that in a column? What the fuck? What the fuck? Second. This is the shit I was talking about earlier with Tim Tebow. You have guys railing against Tim Tebow because he likes to quote the Bible sometimes.
But that is all right.
But then you have guys out here defending Adrian Peterson and him taking a switch to his 4-year-old son, leaving marks on him, and saying, "Oh, well, you know what? He descended from
the
slaves.
way he was raised."
Yeah, that's the way. Not even that. You know what? Slavery, you guys. Are you kidding me?
Uh,
Are you fucking kidding me? You know what? That's classic though. I'm kind of glad that made it because you know what? It gives assholes like us to sit here and scratch our head and wonder how the fuck something like that made it into a newspaper.
The USA Today, no less. This isn't like the Podunkville Journal Sentinel
yeah.
or the, Small Townville Times Tribune, where like it's a staff of 4 and you know what, there really isn't an editor.
And you know what? This is Green Bay. I know Green Bay's a small town, but Green Bay is on the map.
Yes.
Because of their football team.
Yes.
Like if Green Bay had no connection whatsoever to the Packers, then okay. You know what? Seeing something like this coming out of Green Bay,
Yeah. It'd be normal.
whatever. But wow. Yeah. Slavery.
It went to that.
I could see that that Ron Burgundy meme. Wow, that escalated quickly.
Boy, that escalated quickly. That really got out of hand fast.
But yeah, but again, you know, he starts off saying that, you know what, I'm 55 and have friends about a generation older who say corporal punishment in school was a routine. He's right. You know what? Corporal punishment was a thing.
It's not anymore.
Not anymore. And you know what? I'm
It's
sorry
been for a while.
I'm sorry, but just because of the way you were raised doesn't justify anything you do now. Whether it's the way your parents raised you, or whether it's the way your grandparents' grandparents' grandparents were raised. So, anyways, that's the stupid shit of the week.
Dum 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 dum.
Dum.
Please don't hit us with a copyright strike. Dum 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 dum.
Whatever. Is the NFL franchise tag a positive or negative to the league?
It's a negative, in my opinion. It's a negative. It's
Why?
holding. It holds your best player. It's not used on those elite type players because you know what, the guys that the tag is intended for, they never make it that far. They get extended before that last second. It ends up essentially putting on hold the careers and holding hostage the careers of some pretty good players for ridiculous amounts of money. And you know what? Yes, that guy gets a lot of money the 1 year, but then guess what? He has no long-term security, and all it does is end up boning the same guys over and over. Like, you think Kirk Cousins is happy with having to play in it 2 years in a row? Jason Pierre-Paul's happy about having to play in it 2 years in a row? No, they're not. They have no long-term security. Yeah, they get a nice payday this year, but part of playing in the NFL is cashing in while you got a chance. JPP's free agency has been delayed 2 years in a row because of the use of the franchise tag. It's about time that, you know what, I don't think it should be. I think it needs to go away. Now, if you want to come up with the old MLB system of Type A and Type B free agents, where you're more aggressive with the compensation, instead of just getting compensatory picks for guys signed, you actually have to give up your pick if you're choose, like the Type A, Type B free agency used to work. If it was like a top 50 free agent, or no, like top 20 free agent, you had to give up your first round pick if he was signed away. If you sent him away, or Type B, you gave up your second round pick. Something to that effect. If you want to do that, fine. But to hold the hostage the careers of these guys.
They have 2 different tiers of franchise tags, though.
Yeah, there's the exclusive one or the non-exclusive one. No one uses the non-exclusive one. You've held this guy hostage. It's not fair to the guy. You know what? I understand contracts, and I understand you have to have essentially a draft system in professional sports, even though I think it's absolute horse shit, but it's a topic for another day. Holding these guys hostage, and yes, it's hard to say it's hostage when they make $15 million. But you know what? I don't get the choice. I don't get to go shop around. I don't get to see what I'm worth. It delays my free agency 1 more year when it's time to negotiate next year. He's 1 year older, and you know what? He kind of got dinged up last year a little bit,
And he didn't produce like he did before.
Yeah, you know what?
So his value's gone
prove-it
down.
deal.
So he's not going to be able to.
Sean, what do you think, Sean?
No, I kind of agree with Dorf on that. I'm like, it feels like you're just holding them as prisoner, and they can't do what they want to do.
Poor players. I like it. I like it because
They're a terrorist.
I like it because it gives smaller market teams a chance to keep their superstars.
It's a salary cap league, man.
So
There's only so much money to go around.
so
If it was an uncapped league, I would give you that point, but I'd
okay. I think it gives teams a better chance of keeping their superstars. It gives them first crack at it.
okay.
And you know what? Players are going to, in some ways, jet smaller markets so they can play in bigger markets and get more exposure for their own brand. If you get offered the same money on a small market team or a big market team, where are you going to go?
Likely bigger market. Likely. Stereotypically speaking, you're more likely to select the bigger market.
Yeah, and I think a franchise tag helps.
Prevent that from getting out of hand.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's something, quite frankly, I wish they would extend to other sports.
It's a good topic for another time. I mean, we could.
We can
give
curb
me
it.
s-
We
gi-
can
yeah.
curb it for another day. Save it for a rainy day.
That's
plenty
it.
of
I was going to say that could be
That
a
could be-
very, very good debate topic this summer when we're struggling to find something. I think you and I could go 12 rounds on that.
And I'll be the judge.
If you'd like, you can get your scorecard out and score the rounds.
All right.
Can we do
you-
the pre-fight?
Yes, and I want a mallet. Can I have a mallet too?
No, you got to.
Oh,
No,
we
it's-
actually have some at work. We'll bring you one.
Okay.
No, you got to wear the latex gloves too, like they do in UFC.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. I'll be like, come in, like, and then I'll have the mallet pound it.
Ding, ding, ding. We
Oh,
gotta
I
get
want
you
a
a bell.
bell.
We
Yeah,
need to
give
get
me
you
a
fight
bell.
bell.
Yeah.
We actually have to.
Who's
have time.
Apollo and who's Rocky?
I don't know.
Well, he's white. He can be Rocky.
Well, you're pretty white too, even though you're Hernandez.
He's more white than me. So.
That is true. That is very true.
I don't know unless you want to be Apollo. He's probably never even.
I've
seen
never
Rocky.
seen them. I don't know.
Who's Rocky and who's the Von Drago?
I think he's taller, so he probably.
You're a Von Drago, and then you have to be Rocky.
Is that a good thing? I don't know. I've never seen it. I know it's from the Rocky movies, but I've never seen them. Couldn't tell you.
What? What?
You're surprised about that?
What?
I don't watch movies.
I don't care if you never watched it. You should know. You should have seen Rocky by now.
Never have.
Do you want to see them?
You need to see them.
They're good movies.
Know what? Maybe
Even
you.
the later ones. Did you see Rocky Balboa and,
Yeah.
and Creed? Are
I love
both
Creed.
Really good.
Yeah.
Did you like Rocky Balboa?
Yes, I do.
I think those are some of the best. I would put those above.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'd put those above Rocky 4 and Rocky 5. In
Rocky
fact,
5, I was like with what Tommy Gunn or whatever his name
that's
is.
so terrible.
Yeah.
You know what? I put those above Rocky 3 too.
I don't know. I really liked Rocky 3. I like.
It's fine, but it's
I'm a big Von Drago fan.
That's Rocky 4.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Rocky
What's-
3. In Rocky 3, he fights Mr. T.
Oh yeah, Mr. T. I forgot about Mr. T. Oh yeah, then yeah.
You talking about Rocky 4 is terrible.
What? No, it's
Yes,
not.
it is. It is
It's
terrible.
great.
No, Drago is a
Radio for two alert. Radio
Actually-
for two alert.
Actually, no. This is talking about Rocky movies.
Yeah.
Everybody's seen Rocky except you.
Yeah, that's true. That is very, no, I like that
News
one.
there are
I just
fake
didn't like number
news.
5. I did not like 5 at
No,
all.
five is terrible. I'll tell you what. Rocky 4. The only thing good about Rocky 4 is Drago's a good villain that you could hate, especially during
I
the
just
time.
liked it. I don't know.
No, it's terrible.
No, it's not.
It's terrible. Paulie is annoying in that.
Paulie's
movie.
annoying in all the movies.
Yeah, for the most part, he is. But he's especially annoying.
To be
in that
honest, no,
one.
I really don't like Paulie at all. When in Rocky Balboa, when they showed that he was dead in Rocky Balboa, right? Wasn't it? Or was he dead?
No, he died in Creed.
Creed. That's what it was.
Yeah, he was
And
dead in
when
Creed.
when he died, they showed that he died in Creed. I was like, yes. I was like, yes. I hated him, Paulie so much.
Again, for somebody that has no personality when it comes
Yeah,
to movies,
exactly.
Dorf is getting a little.
He's getting bored.
Well, guess what? Sit back and shut up.
Somebody here woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
All right, let's get to some news. Russell Westbrook. I guess I had enough of Mark Cuban's comments about him not being in the discussion when it comes
Cubes.
to MVP. Taking out some of that frustration on former Warrior Harrison Barnes. Here he is tackling him the other night during the Mavericks Oklahoma City game, and like I said, taking out that frustration on Harrison Barnes that was probably meant for Mark Cuban. So here we go.
Make shots.
That got me all goosebumpy. I love that. Oh, wow. Uh-oh.
Easy to do when you're down 25
Tense
or
and
20
intense
points.
between the Mavs and the Thunder.
Yeah, they're rivals.
Boy, Russ
Man.
just blew through that screen.
Look, they're going to review this right now, guys. And if Westbrook is hit with a technical foul, then he's over. His night is over. He's done. He already has a technical here in the third quarter.
That's not even basketball there. I mean, I don't know how long Scott Foster.
Okay, you know what? Okay, you know what? There was a little bit of acting there on Harrison Barnes.
Just a little
Just
bit.
a little
You
tiny.
could say that about pretty much every NBA play.
Yeah,
A little bit of embellishment there.
yeah.
Foster.
Oh, wait, hold on. Let's do the replay.
Here in the third
again.
quarter.
Here we go. There he is.
That's not even basketball
A
there.
little bit of it.
I don't know how long
I'm
Scott.
sorry. Harrison Barnes was positioned well. It's not like he caught him off guard. Now, should he have gotten a flagrant on that? Yeah, he should have. But there's a little bit of embellishing there. Anyways, the New York Knicks made some headlines yesterday for not playing any modern sounds of the game during the entire first half. No organ music, no music in general, no nothing. And I guess this is what it sounded like.
I heard about that.
That's all you heard.
So it's like a high school basketball game.
Yep. That's it. Are you getting a little bored if you're up in the stands? Like if you're, like, go to our website, themajors.net, and watch and look at the news for this week. It's on there. Do you get a little bored if you're up in the stands without any music going?
No.
No?
To watch a damn game, damn it.
Okay.
Dorf's there because he loves the game. He doesn't care about
I'm
the
here
music.
because I love sports ball.
There you go. Sean, what do you think? Are you getting a little is it a little uneasy maybe?
When you're, I don't know. I'm like, if you're not like a hardcore fan, obviously, yeah, you know, I'm like, if you're there, like, you know, Dorf is there to watch the game because he loves it. Yeah, you would probably get a little bit
loves
annoying.
the sports ball.
You would get annoyed a little bit and kind of like this. You'd start getting wandering eyes. You wouldn't even be paying attention. You get distracted. But you know, for some of us, like, you know, you and I, whatever, we're basketball fans. We would sit there and actually still watch it, and it wouldn't even faze us.
I don't know, I like a little music to go along with it.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't. It wouldn't affect you where you would just get distracted and not watch it anymore.
No. Draymond Green didn't like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is he bored?
Oh, he thought they should put the music back in. But Draymond Green getting pissed about something, that's not
Nothing
That's not
new.
news.
that's nothing new. Do you want to hear Steph Curry getting encouragement from his dad, Steve Kerr?
Yes.
Steve Kerr. Dad Steve
Here's what I'm going
Kerr.
to show you. That's your shooting totals. That's your plus minus. All right? So it's not always tied together. You're doing great stuff out there. The tempo is so different when you're out there. Everything you generate for us is so positive. It shows up here, not always there, but it always shows up here. You're doing great. Carry on, my son.
Carry on, my son. That's where the whole dad thing comes in, Dorf.
I love you too, Dad.
Yep. And anyways, Michael Jordan, great basketball player, maybe the best of all time. Not the best public speaker. Here he is.
You didn't see the reference. They see what's on the audio one.
It's a great moment. I appreciate the hospitality once again to be back home.
Fast forward.
About business, it's about life. And I come back as a businessman to say I'm happy to extend the Jordan Brand relationship not only for the game of basketball, but for the game of football.
UNC is going to wear the Jumpman.
The Jumpman uni.
I am a diehard Carolina fan, no matter what sport is being played with UNC on his chest. I am extremely proud in terms of what Coach Fedora has done for the football team, and I think bigger and better things are about to happen. So with that note, I want to welcome Coach for all the hard work and the dedication he's done for the football team and a lot of the players here tonight. I wish you guys nothing but best. The ceiling is the roof. Let's make it happen.
The ceiling is the roof.
Hey, Sean, you playing baseball this year?
Yes, I am.
I just want you to know that the ceiling this year is the roof.
What ceiling? Doesn't matter what sport you play, as long as it has UNC on it.
Dorf, just want you to know the ceiling is the roof.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Or is this an alternate universe where the ceiling is the floor?
Now you got me thinking because you think about it. You think about it. Our vision is actually upside down. So are we actually on the roof or are we on our floor?
The deep psychological issue.
I'm so confused.
Save it for XCast, damn it. Shameless plug to Adam's Tuesday night adventure.
Thank you. 9:45 over on the EmpireMedia.com. So bad. Michael Jordan is. I guess I could see why maybe he isn't a coach.
He's coaching kids.
Or he doesn't want to be one.
The ceiling is the roof, and the kids are like, what?
Anyway, so that's going to do it this week for the Majors Live. Catch us again next week, same time, same place, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time here on TMSNX Radio, themajors.net. Also, get the replay over on themajors.net as well. We'll be up there. So, for Dorf.
Come on, Struggle Bus, finish strong.
No, I'm just making sure I get all the ducks in line here. So, for Dorf, Sean, I'm Adam. Bye for now, everybody.